So again, good afternoon. I'm Onin Ramos. Okay, my real name is Jose Nino. That's why they call me Onin. It's my nickname. I'm the partner systems engineer from Dell Technologies. So I cover actually mostly partner enablement and similar events like this. So I'll be discussing the VxRail advantage, our Dell EMC ready solutions for VDI, okay, and why choose Dell, okay, and of course the associated technologies and the solutions behind this. Okay. So as you can see here right now, okay, so with this current situation, right? So they're calling it the new normal, okay? But in fact, in reality, this is not a normal situation, right? So it's becoming normal, though it's an abnormal, I would say, part of the term situation. So everyone has been affected for the longest time, right? It's been almost how many months since we entered this pandemic situation. Okay, a lot of businesses have been affected. Okay, so the workforce cannot go to their offices. Okay, due to the lockdown and even now very strict. Okay, so a lot of cost organizations has been affected, especially those who are not yet ready in terms of their infrastructure, their workforce. Their workforce can no longer do their tasks, the day-to-day tasks because of that. Okay? So with this solution, with this situation, so it's a must really for every organizations to transform. Okay, IT transformation, workforce transformation, applications transformation, digital transformation, even security. Okay, so the workforce has been evolving. Our landscape has been evolving. So work now happens anywhere. Okay, work is something that we do anywhere now. It's not a place that we go to, right? So because of that, so we have to really transform, okay, make our infrastructure ready so that the business will still thrive, operate, and still be able to generate revenue for its continuity. Okay? So based on Dell and Intel Future Workforce study, right, 60% still work after hours, business hours, which is true. Even us, we still work even late at night. Okay, so that's the new norm. Okay, so of course, and even businesses, okay, they do bring they bring their their work from home. They work from home as well. And then of course, 82%. This is striking. No? Say technology influences job choices. Okay, so this is true also, especially for the millennials. Okay, they are tech savvy. Okay? If you're using an old school system, all manual, then you might not be able to entice them to apply, right? Or stay with your company as well. So those are the challenges, okay? Workforce, the way we work, accessing application, business continuity and operations, okay? So with that, okay, these are the challenges that most of the IT faces today, okay? So a lot of us would need to access the resources, the applications from anywhere, okay? And of course, the cost is a bit spiraling. Those are the challenges, especially nowadays. Okay, everybody has been affected. Many businesses have been affected, so they have some budget cuts. Okay, so but still, they still need to really invest. If not, then they will stay the same. Something that they really need to invest in technology so that their business can adapt to the new normal. Okay? So in terms of management as well, those are some of the challenges. There are some cases, compliance and mandates, okay? In terms of security and access, data locality, bring your own device or security. So all these things, okay, because of this kind of situation that we are into now. So how to address that? Of course, we need to really embrace transformation. Okay? IT transformation, workforce transformation, security transformation, and even application, okay, or digital transformation. Okay? So with that, that will make your organization future-proof, ready for the future, and continuously thrive and bring about new opportunities, okay, and expand the business as well to cover more customers globally, okay, not just locally because of these technologies. Okay. One classic example are the very popular virtual shopping malls, right? Lazada, Amazon, okay, Shopee, name it, even the mobile applications. They still thrive because of they are digital ready. Okay? So we have these ready solutions for VDI just to help you out. Okay? So we have an end-to-end solution. As you can see on the screen, okay, we have the complete suite of solution, one vendor solution. We have the client solutions, okay, for your endpoint devices requirement. We have the infrastructure solution at the core. We have the servers, we have the virtualization, we have the storage, we have the hyperconverged infrastructure. Okay, so we have all these things, and even cloud ready. Okay, we also have that kind of solution. Okay. So especially if you wanted to have in the future, you want to have a hybrid, hybrid setup, okay, on-prem applications, on-prem virtual machines, and then moving to a public cloud or even a private cloud, right? Co-located or a local service provider. We can also have that through VMware Cloud Foundation, as you can see here. So again, end-to-end, from the edge to the core to the cloud. We can provide you this solution. So Dell EMC ready solutions for VDI. Okay, we have built this one for you for the customers. Okay, so a lot of customers organizations would really need this kind of solution. Okay, so so that their business can still thrive, they can still operate, and then they can their workforce can still do their functions normally, even outside of the organization's premises. Okay, so we provided everything through the partnership. Actually, VMware is owned by Technologies, so we have tight integration with VMware Technologies and Solutions on our VDI, even on our thin clients. So it's validated, okay, tested, and reliable. Okay? So again, it's also important for you to have a better space, okay, and better performance. So this is some customer story just want to share. So Evans is an architecture and design firm. Okay, so they require a desktop virtualization solution to serve their designers graphics intensive applications. Of course, this is architectural, so it's graphics intensive most of the desktops. So what the solution was, we provided around 200 named users, okay, license for multiple locations for VMware Horizon. We've used, in this case, we've used a build your own solution. But what we're discussing, right? What I'll be discussing today is our appliance, a turnkey solution for our VDI. But in this case, this one is a build your own solution through using Power Edge servers and our NVIDIA GPUs, okay, with the Horizon. Okay. Of course, it comes with the Dell networking component as well. So these are the results. Okay? Improvement in the application design performance, productivity-wise, it has improved dramatically on-site and even remote because of the VDI solution. So they can access their virtual desktops from anywhere. Okay, and then scalability-wise, if they need more memory, so they can easily provide memory and even graphics on demand, depending on the needs of a specific user group. Okay, so collaboration-wise, it has also improved because of the technology behind it, right? So connected workplace, virtual desktops, virtualization, and all these technologies enable all these things. Okay? So why should you choose Dell EMC for VDI? Again, as mentioned earlier, we have the complete solution, complete suite. We have the build your own solution through the vSAN ready nodes or the 3-tier architecture. And what we recommend is hyper-converged infrastructure. This is a turnkey solution, okay? HCI solution. It can automate, okay? It can even provide you better day-to operations. Simplify your operations, lowering your total cost of ownership and operational cost in 3 to 5 years. Okay? So we also have other solutions like Converge and other technologies cloud integration. Okay? So again, from the edge with the client solutions, we also have that. For the core, we have the HCI infrastructure, we have the virtualization platform, okay? We have the security platform embedded. Actually, VMware has acquired Carbon Black for endpoint security as well. Okay? So you are secure with the VMware Horizon as well. In terms of management, you'll be having a consistent management across the stack. Okay? So those are the things, these are some of the benefits, okay, if you're going to take a look at our Dell EMC VDI offerings. Okay? So as mentioned earlier, see, we have a complete stack. Okay? In fact, this is not to boast, but we're #1 globally in a lot of categories. For converged infrastructure, we're #1. Okay? And HCI, we're actually gaining grounds. Actually, we are also #1. Okay? We have overtaken the incumbent HCI vendor. VxRail was just launched last 2016. Okay, 4 years already. It's almost 4 years, and we've gained higher grounds. I mean, a lot of accolades in terms of HCI offering and awards because it's tightly integrated with VMware. So again, we also have a built-in data protection. Of course, it is important to protect our applications and virtual desktops. Okay, so we also have this kind of integration on our solutions as well. As you can see here, it's a complete suite of solution, not just the compute, not just the virtual desktop, not just the infrastructure, not just the network and security, but we can also include the data protection solution. Okay? So what we're doing now is doing a software-defined data center. If you're getting towards that software-defined data center, then VMware is the way to go. Okay, virtualization. I'll discuss that later on. Why? Okay. So these are the product portfolio for VDI solution. Okay. As mentioned, so we have an end-to-end. We have the client solutions, whether you want your desktop, laptop, or even in client on the side. Okay, we can offer you that. In terms of networking, we have our software-defined networking as well. SD1, we have open networking capabilities. We have the smart fabric for ease of deployment and data operations, okay, and management of the network infra, along with our VxRail HCI offering. And for data protection, we have our integrated data protection appliance that can be tightly integrated on the solution as well. Okay. So name it, we have it actually. Okay. So going to VDI on VxRail, okay, these are the adoption, okay, drivers for HCI adoptions. A lot of customers, we've seen a lot of customers transitioning from traditional physical or 3-tier architecture to an HCI solution because we are software defining everything, compute, network, and storage, and management is very easy. So you'll have this kind of cloud-like operating environment within your organization on-prem. Okay? So that's one of the drivers, okay? Agility, scalability, and simplicity. Okay? Simplicity-wise, you can manage the entire stack using a single management console. Okay? In that case, for virtualization, you can use vCenter to manage everything. In fact, we also have a VxRail manager, okay, to manage the entire stack with the integration also for vCenter, including on the network and a lot of things. Okay? So, of course, with all this will allow you to lower your operational expenses. Okay? Not just simplifying your management, but of course, lowering your operational expenses, which is critical, okay, because of the tight budget that we have right now, especially for IT. Okay? So justification of any acquisition is a bit challenging right now because of the budget cuts. Okay? So, but with that, okay, if you view the 3-year, 5-year roadmap, okay, the TCO, total cost of ownership, then you can actually save a lot. Okay? So HCI, actually hyperconverged infrastructure, is powered by VMware vSAN. vSAN is in kernel, okay, meaning it's embedded within the hypervisor. So with that kind of technology, so it saves a lot of resources and better performance. Okay, management-wise, So we can provide you, a single point of management with vCenter, as mentioned earlier. So we have the broadest, choices in terms of deployment. Okay, but again, we have ready nodes. We have all these things: public cloud integration, managed service provider. But we can start first. This is the recommended. Start with the VxRail appliance turnkey solution. It will simplify your management and data operations, okay, compared to a traditional build your own ready nodes. Okay? So this is the design principle of our VxRail. Okay, so again, just to show you, okay, the benefits of our VxRail, okay, 56% faster IT service delivery. Why? Because it's virtualized. Operational wise, it's very transparent. Okay, provisioning of VM is simple. You can integrate even your vRealize operations manager if you're familiar with that to automate your operations. Infrastructure as a code, integration, automation, programmable infrastructure. You can have it. Okay? So that's why it's very much flexible in terms of licensing as well. You have choices of vSAN, choices of vSphere licenses, and even integration on VMware Cloud Foundation. Okay? So this is this is an actual ROI achievement in 5 years, 489% return on investment. Okay, because of the life cycle management, turnkey experience, okay, all these things, we simplify their operations and management. Okay, we have this one-click upgrade to VxRail Manager, so it improved a lot. This is based on IDC white paper. Okay, so delivering efficient business expansion with Dell EMC VMware-based HCI. Okay, so in terms of efficiency and cost effectivity, of course, we have this. Okay, because normally the challenges of IT are the data operations, especially patching, scaling up or scaling out, adding more nodes. So if you're using a traditional physical equipment or three-tier architecture, that is a very tedious task. But with our VxRail Manager, we automate the life cycle, automated patching, one-click upgrades, all these things. Okay? And we also have this advanced analytics. Okay? It's free, meaning without even you're outside of your organization, you can still monitor your infrastructure, your HCI infrastructure for that matter, okay, through analytical consulting engine of VxRail. Okay, it's a free cloud-based analytics that you just go to the URL, log in, okay, create your credentials, and you can monitor your infrastructure, your HCI infrastructure, whether it's located in Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or outside of the Philippines. Yes, you can monitor it. Okay. So what's the configuration options for VxRail? It's an appliance, but very much configurable, configure to order, highly configurable. Okay. We have choices of processor for Intel, depending on the sizing and workloads requirement that you have. We can customize it for you. Okay. We also even support AMD processor now. We have a model that supports AMD. Okay, so if you have a VDI that is a graphics intensive, CPU intensive, so we can also leverage that. Okay, especially we also support GPU. Okay, we also support GPU graphics, NVIDIA. Okay, for your high graphics intensive workloads or virtual desktops. Okay, we have choices of this as well. Okay, so you can use our SATA drives or NLSAS for the capacity. Okay, and even for the networking, it's very much flexible and memory options as well. So we will not sell you a something that is overkill. Okay, we can size it accordingly based on your requirement. And the beauty of VxRail, it is scale up and scale out. So it's very much scalable. You can start small, even with 3 nodes, and you can scale up to 64 nodes in the future in a single cluster. Okay? So that's the advantage of VxRail compared to the traditional 3-tier architecture. Okay, so what's inside VxRail? So value for money. Okay, you have the choice of vSAN. vSAN is the virtual storage appliance. Okay, this is a software-defined storage, which is embedded within the hypervisor. This is embedded in ESXi. Okay, so you don't have to install anything. You don't have to manage this separately. Unlike our other HCI solution, you have to configure the storage, the virtual storage appliance. But in this case, You don't have to, okay? Because it's already included in hypervisor, and when you deploy our VxRail, okay, it will automatically deploy vSAN for you. Okay? It already comes with vCenter management to manage the VMware virtualization stack. Okay? Of course, VSP ready. It has this vRealize suite ready. We also have this vRealize logging for monitoring as well. That's also included. And another value proposition. These are the system software that comes with it. VxRail Manager, this one is the end-to-end lifecycle management. Okay? So patching, monitoring, updating, upgrading, building the cluster for you. We automated a lot of things. Okay? Instead of manually configuring the equipment that would take days, you can configure even a 5-node, 8-node cluster in just an hour. Okay? We have an example. We have experience building a VxRail cluster, a 4-node cluster. It only took us less than 30 minutes to build the cluster, okay? Because of this automation. Okay? And of course, analytical consulting engine and a lot of integration, okay? RESTful API for automation orchestration services. So you can also integrate this. Okay? Infrastructure as a code, automation, vRealize operations, the provisioning of VM automation. So all these things. So very much open. Okay? So another good thing with the VxRail, it comes with data protection solution. Okay, what's that? Recover point for VM. The recover point for VM is a continuous data protection solution. Apart from backup, okay, normally when you back up, it will take you 4 hours, 8 hours, or 12 hours of backup, okay, window time. Okay, so if your RPO is very strict, let's say, for example, you only have a recovery point objective. When you say recovery point objective, okay, it is the amount of data that you're willing to lose. Okay, for example, 1 hour of data you're willing to lose, your company can still thrive. Then that's your RPO. Okay, so if you're using the traditional data protection, for example, you're backing up let's say every 7 p.m. Okay, the backup will finish at 12 noon, 12 midnight. Okay, and then the following day we'll do that again. But what happens is, for example, your RPO is 1 hour. Okay, so you cannot really achieve that with that kind of solution, data protection. Why? Because your data, your backup was 7 p.m. yesterday, and your data got corrupted, or your VM, your application got corrupted at around 10 a.m. the following day. So you will revert to the 7 p.m. copy yesterday, okay, on the previous day. So you already missed your SLA, service level agreement or objective, and RPO, RTO requirement. Okay, and that will be resolved by recover point for VM. Okay, recover point for VM is part of the VxRail offering. Okay, it's already embedded, it's bundled. It's meaning you can deploy this virtual appliance within your VxRail cluster, and then you can protect a particular virtual desktop or virtual machines. Okay, what it does, every IO written on the particular protected VM recover point will update a journal and replica. It will create a replica of the particular VM. So if there's an incoming write at 12 noon, okay, it will update the journal and the replica of the protected VM. Let's say there's another incoming write at 12:30 p.m. Okay, so it will again update the journal and replica. What happens if, for example, the 12:30 copy is corrupted, or that 12:30 activity compromise the VM? Okay, so you can revert to your 12 p.m. copy. So practically, you're losing zero data. Why? Because the data you've written at 12:30 is corrupted anyway. So you can revert to your 12 p.m. copy. So that's another value proposition. This is recover point for VM, a continuous data protection solution that is already part of our VxRail offering. Of course, the traditional, okay, the inherent VMware vSphere replication for disaster recovery. If you plan to have a DR site, okay, you can also use vSphere replication, but also you can also use recover point for VM for disaster recovery. Why? Because recover point for VM can protect your VM locally, and it can also replicate to another cluster with recover point. Okay, so we just set up another recover point appliance, virtual appliance on the other side. Okay, having a virtualized environment. It doesn't require to be on VxRail as well. As long as you have the same hypervisor level and validated vCenter, okay, it can replicate to another site. Okay, even if it's a 3-tier architecture, okay, that is possible. Okay. The replication is, let's say, from VxRail to a DR site on a 3-tier architecture. That is also possible. From VxRail to another VxRail, that is also possible. Okay, so you have local copy and remote copy. Okay, so you can do that. So it's ready. Okay, again, future ready for your disaster recovery initiatives. Okay, so this is VxRail Manager. As mentioned, we automated over 200 tasks, manual tasks, in deploying, building a cluster for you. If you're familiar with building a cluster, right? So you have to configure everything, right? Update the BIOS first, optimize, check for interoperability, okay? Install the hypervisor, map the, install the network card, the HBA, the initiator, right? All these things, okay? So a lot of things that we have to do. But with our VxRail Manager, again, we just put the credentials, the IP address range, the VLAN settings, all this information that are basically needed, then it can build the cluster for you automatically. Okay? So again, it also has auto discovery. When adding a node, for example, you're expanding the cluster. Once you plug it into the network, VxRail can you add, for example, additional VxRail node, it can be automatically discovered. And once automatically discovered through VxRail Manager, access that node, expand the cluster, okay, input the IP address of that node and the credentials, and it will be automatically joined to the cluster and the resources will be expanded. So as easy as that. So very important yung updates, ano, yung day 2 operations. Actually, we're automating your day 2 operations, yung life cycle management mo. Those are the tedious tasks. Those are the very time-consuming tasks for the administrator. Okay? And even could affect the business if something happens on the patches. Why? Because we make sure that the update that we download from our site has been tested and validated. As you can see in the video, right, we have a team, okay, of engineers at our laboratory that do the testing. In fact, we are running around 100,000 hours when validating a certain configuration on VxRail. Okay? So you are sure that it will work and has been validated. 100,000 hours validation testing in our lab. Okay? That is what we do. So these are the models that you can choose from. We have the VDI optimized, which is the V series for your graphics intensive virtual desktops. So we can add actually up to 4 GPUs. Okay, I mean 3 GPUs for this one. Okay, if you need more. Okay, but the rest, again, you can still use the P series, E series, or even the S series if it's a storage dense. Okay, you can also use that. So we have choices. Again, very flexible as mentioned. An appliance that is highly configurable, okay, and customizable for you. So another beauty of our solution, why VxRail? Okay, the advantage is we have two-dimensional scaling. When I say two-dimensional scaling, we can scale out and scale up. When we scale up, meaning we add more nodes. Okay, let's say you started with 3 nodes, you can add additional node. Okay, on the 4th node. For example, okay, you have enough processor and memory resources. You can scale up the disk. For example, you need more disk capacity. You can add more disk on the nodes, and you can scale up the capacity of the disk. And even for the memory, you can scale up the memory as well. Okay, so two-dimensional scaling, okay, scale up and scale out capability. Okay, and we also have this smart fabric. Okay, so again, we're really trying to improve your day-to operations, right? If using our Dell networking switches, using the OS 10, okay, operating system on the networking switches, okay, we call it smart fabric services, okay. So we also have that. In fact, you can integrate it. Okay, there's a tab that you can integrate it to plug in on your vCenter, and you can now manage everything on vCenter. Again, simplifying your day-to operation and management. Through vCenter, you can manage your VMware stack. Okay, you can manage the VMs, the host. You can manage the virtual network. You can manage the physical switches. You can manage even the virtual storage or the software-defined storage, which is vSAN, all in one. Okay, all in VX vCenter. So again, another value proposition. Okay, this is the advantage of our HCI, and in fact, VxRail is the only co-engineered HCI out in the market, co-engineered by VMware and Dell EMC. That's why we have VMware validated design for VxRail. So we have our team at the lab of expert engineers back at our lab to test everything for you: interoperability, documentation. We have these reference architectures and blueprints and guides for the next steps. For example, you want to upgrade to another version. So we already tested. For example, we're now versions, let's say you're at version 6.5 of VMware, for example, and there's version 6.7. You want to migrate to upgrade to 6.7. It has been tested. Okay, you can just download the patch and we can automate all these things for you. Okay. So we also have, as mentioned, right, since I know Maximum Solutions has been offering more graphics application, graphics more on CAD, architectural, right? So yes, you can consider this V series for VDI optimized graphics ready platform. Okay. So we have all flash, okay, 570F and hybrid model. When we say hybrid model, we have SSD for caching and we have the spinning drives for your capacity. But for all flash is all flash, okay, all SSD. If you want higher performance, lower latency, then the all flash model will suit your requirement. Okay, so very flexible pa rin, okay, still highly configurable. So we can provide you, we can put GPUs, NVIDIA GPUs on this one to improve, okay, the experience in terms of graphics of the users. So this is the NVIDIA virtual GPU solution. Okay, as mentioned, all these things. There was a study, right, comparing Windows 7 and Windows 10. Okay, Windows 10 actually is there's additional around 20 to 32% increase in GPU utilization. Okay, so that's why NVIDIA has come up with this kind of solution as well to address that, especially for these workloads, any graphics intensive workloads. As you can see here, we have AutoCAD, Autodesk support, Cassia, Revit, okay? Very graphics intensive when you do rendering, right? So all these things, ArcGIS, okay, SolidWorks, etc. So we support this one through NVIDIA Quadro, okay? So this will improve your graphics experience and will improve the performance and efficiency, okay, of your virtual desktops. Okay. So going to virtual workstation and architecture, just to show you, this is the architecture that we have on using VMware Horizon. Okay, this is our VMware based virtual desktop solutions. Although we also support other third-party virtual desktop solutions, okay, we can support that. Okay, but since we're discussing on VMware-centric solution, right? So tight integration. Okay, because it's it's better to have one vendor, right? Meaning one vendor to choke, one vendor to talk to. It's not that we're lacking you, okay? But it provide you better data operations support, okay? So you don't have to encounter any finger pointing. Oh, this is not my problem. That's the other vendor's problem. So there are cases like that. But in this case, because it's under Dell Technologies, VMware is under Dell Technologies. Okay, it's part of our strategically aligned businesses and Dell EMC. So you just call one vendor, Dell Technologies, to support you end to end, from the core, from the edge to the core to the cloud, as mentioned. Again, we have the thin clients, the workstations, okay, for your endpoints, okay, and we have the infrastructure here. We can have the HCI. We have we can input the GPU, NVIDIA GPU on our VxRail appliance, right? And everything can be scalable. Okay, so this is the simple architecture. These are the solution benefits, of course: better collaboration, flexible workspace. Okay, so you can access. Actually, you can even have Our VMware Horizon has this cloud gateway capability. So you can just deploy a cloud gateway and even cost users accessing, okay, through internet, okay, can access the virtual desktops through cloud gateway of Horizon. So it's cloud enabled again, as mentioned. So a lot of things that you can do here, right? Whether your employees are working on-prem, remotely, connecting via VPN or connecting via internet through cloud gateway of a Horizon, that is possible. So again, ease of access, centralized management. Okay, it's a very for the administrator especially it will also secure your data center. No, the challenge is when you're using a remote. Let's say a bring your own device, right? Your user is using their own devices, so you have to secure that, you have to manage that. Okay, so those are some of the challenges. But if you have a centralized virtual desktop architecture infrastructure, so management, the resources will be within the data center. So simplified management. Okay, you don't have to worry on the security. All you have to do is make sure that the authentication access is enabled. Okay, so those are the things that and then in fact we have carbon black to secure the endpoints as well for virtual desktop. So that's another solution. Okay, so VMware has that security. So end to end. Okay, we already covered everything: workforce, solution, transformation, security, transformation, infrastructure, and even application transformation. Okay, you can deploy your next generation or homegrown application on a virtual desktop or a virtual environment and can be accessed from anywhere. Okay. So a very easy, very useful, okay, benefit for the organization and the administration: centralized management, secured infrastructure, secured access, secured application. Okay. So all those things. And again, very much flexible. Okay, even if you're 100% workforce accessing your applications remotely, that is possible through the virtual desktop infrastructure virtualization. Okay, so we also have again cloud enabled. It's cloud enabled as mentioned through VMware Cloud Foundation. So we can simplify your experience, okay? Simplify your having a consistent deployment architecture and management through VMware Cloud Foundation on VxRail. Okay, we can integrate to third-party public cloud provider like AWS, even Azure or Google Cloud Platform, or even a local service provider, as long as it runs on VMware environment, and then we can integrate VMware Cloud Foundation within it. So you can have that multi-cloud, hybrid cloud experience as well. Okay. So as you can see here, okay, you can have your VxRail manager here for your local cluster management. If you have a let's say a hybrid cloud experience, hybrid cloud deployment, okay, through VMware Cloud Foundation, you can have this software-defined data center manager. Okay, so automated lifecycle management on-prem and within the cloud as well. Okay, so this is the capability of VxRail, and of course with the partnership, okay, with our sister company, okay, a part of the Dell Technologies family, which is VMware. Okay, we have this cloud builder as well. Okay, if you're looking towards that solution, but you can deploy a traditional VxRail cluster VDI solution within your on-prem, or you can co-locate it if you don't want to house the equipment within your data center. You can uh, choose to co-locate it somewhere else, right? So that's another possibility. So very, very much flexible in terms of deployment and consumption. So with VxRail Cloud Foundation, you can do a lot actually. You can offer a desktop as a service. Okay, you can have your own platform as a service, containers as a service. Okay, if you have this digital container Kubernetes type of application, infrastructure as a service. So it's like you have your own cloud, private cloud within your organization, or can be co-located. Okay, that's the capability of VxRail. So that is our advantage. Okay, so providing you modern, very consistent operations and turnkey solution. Okay, improving, actually drastically improving your day-to life cycle end-to-end management. So this is Horizon on Cloud, Horizon Cloud on VxRail as mentioned. Okay, we have the cloud control panel. Okay, VxRail will be your infrastructure. Okay, you have your virtual desktops running on VxRail cluster, and then you can have your users access through cloud or through traditional access on-prem. Okay, wherein they can access the virtual desktops within the corporate network. Okay, so those are the things, those are the capabilities and flexibility. So just to show you the validated solution of VMware Horizon on VxRail, again, it's validated. Okay, there's a reference architecture. So there's no guesswork, no risk associated with this one because it's already tested and validated interoperability wise, performance wise, okay, operations wise. It's already tested within our laboratories by our engineering experts. Okay? So this is one of the value proposition why VxRail and why Dell EMC for your VDI deployment. Okay? So again, we can also have a hybrid cloud as mentioned. You can have your own on-prem VDI. Okay, you have your vCenter here through VMware Cloud Foundation integration to AWS, VMware Cloud on AWS. You can also have this kind of consistent operations and integration, hybrid cloud, multi-cloud solution. Okay, so we can also have this one. Okay? So this is the VDI stack again. The traditional one, okay, you can use different choices of equipment. So this is very challenging, right? Because there can be finger pointing, there could be some problem on the switches, could be there's some problem on the hardware, on the server, on the host, okay? And then multi-vendor is a little bit challenging, right? So these are the technology component that we have, okay? And Dell Technologies and VMware better together because we have validated and co-engineered the infrastructure for you. Okay? So if there are questions, I'll be answering that after my presentation. Okay, I'll proceed first with my presentation. Actually, I'm down to a few slides. Okay, so this is the VDI complete solution as mentioned. So complete end-to-end solution from the edge to the core to the cloud, okay? And even data protection. As mentioned, we have this integrated data protection solution that can be tightly integrated to VMware or VxRail cluster. And we can protect your VMs, your VDI, okay, for that matter. Okay, any type of device, okay? So a lot of options, okay, for you. Again, single vendor support, one vendor to choke, okay? No more finger pointing. So secured, validated, tested, and very much interoperable. Okay? So again, this is our offering at the moment. Actually, we have created the VDI bundle internally, okay, for your quick reference, a starter, for a quick start, but we can still customize based on your requirement. Okay, so again, VMware plus Horizon, okay, Dell EMC, VxRail, plus our client solutions group. Okay, you have all these choices. One place, okay, one hand to shake, one stop support. Again, value proposition. Okay, so to provide you peace of yung peace of mind. Very important yung peace of mind. Especially if you're the one taking care of your infrastructure, okay? Business is at stake, operations is at stake if something happens. So if you're the IT admin, IT administrator or the head, so peace of mind is very important. So yeah, that's something that you cannot buy actually. I will provide you, Dell Technologies and VMware can provide you all those things. Okay? So this is the VDI bundle, okay, that we created for you for your quick reference as quick start. Okay, we can start with 3 nodes, okay, for 100 users. We can also have 150 users with having 4 nodes. Okay, we also have 500 users at 6 nodes. So it depends, okay, really depends. So we have this kind of distribution of the VDI, the types of worker, right? We have the task worker, we have the knowledge worker, and power users. These are the distribution. Okay, So we have created several quick bundles for you, okay, as a start. But again, this just is a quick start. This is your reference. You can still customize based on your actual requirement. Okay. If this bundle works for you, fits your requirement, then well and good. If not, we can create another bundle for you, customized, tailor fit for your requirement. Okay. So just to show you one one example of the bundle for the 100 users, we're using a 3 node of the E series. Okay. Okay, it's a hybrid model of VxRail. So these are the components, right? We have the 3 nodes appliance. We have the Dell networking switches already. We have the vSAN options, okay? And the Horizon license options could be advanced or enterprise. Okay, if you're an educational institution, yeah, VMware also has that educational license, okay, for vertical deployment. I mean, vertical markets. And of course, optional data protection. You can have our integrated data protection appliance called DP4400. You can start with 8 terabyte and scale up to 96 terabytes. Okay, so it's very scalable as well. And our VxRail can you can start with 3 nodes and you can scale up to 64 nodes. That is how massive the scalability of this equipment is. This solution. Okay, so this is the workload assumptions for your quick reference. Okay, so these are the task workers. Okay, these are the configuration. These are the image sizes, IOPS we configured, the user data, the virtual CPU, and the memory configured per worker category. Okay, so just for your reference, okay, again, this is the basis of our sizing for our ready bundles. Okay, so but again, we can still tailor fit based on your requirement. Okay? So again, add-ons, as mentioned, we also provide you client products. Okay? So we can have this optional hardware components for your endpoints. Okay, you can have our Latitude, Optiplex desktop, Team clients, even the Chrome Enterprise, okay, Latitude 5400, and even YC clients. Okay. So as mentioned, one-stop shop, one vendor to support you. Okay, so no more finger pointing, validated, tested. Okay, within our laboratories. So you are secured. Okay, you are guaranteed that this equipment will work as expected. Okay, so we're actually the outcome. We're most Dell EMC is actually more concerned on the outcome instead of the equipment. So we build solution based on business outcome and the expectation of the customers. Okay, we're not selling products. We're actually selling solution. So to customize your VDI complete solution, there are three easy steps. Select your base, okay, user base. Then select your Horizon license, advanced or enterprise. And then if you want NVIDIA, okay, graphics cards for your high graphics virtual desktop infrastructure requirement. Okay, and you can choose your add-ons like your data protection, your endpoint devices, the client, laptops, or desktops. Okay, so of course, reach out to Maximum Solutions and Dell EMC for any requirement. Again, this is for your quick reference. Okay, but we can still customize based on your requirement. Okay, why want to learn more? Of course, you can ask your representatives. Okay, and you can also visit our dellemc.com/VDI for more information. Okay, and you can also find there our ready solutions as well. There's a quick video. You can also search that within our uh, website. Okay. So, any questions so far? Let me check the chat.
Ayan. Actually, sir, we have two questions from Sir John Benedict Rosales.
Okay.
The first one is, what are the challenges by using with Dell EMC, and how can we monitor the infrastructure of the system nationwide?
Yeah. So the first one is what are the challenges?
Yes po, by using Dell EMC.
Well, it's not really challenges. I don't see any challenges when using Dell EMC because you can see here we have validated everything. end-to-end stack from the edge to the core to the cloud. We can build it for you, okay, customize it for you. And as mentioned earlier, we have this 100 hours, 100,000 hours of testing in our laboratory for each of the component. Okay, and this is the only HCI solution, okay, that has been co-engineered by Dell EMC and VMware. So I don't see any challenges at the moment, right? So it's not self-serving because I'm from Dell Technologies, but it's more of benefits instead of challenges. Okay. Now, how to monitor from anywhere through through our cloud-based analytical consulting engine. Okay, you can monitor that through ACE. You can monitor your VxRail HCI infrastructure from anywhere. Just if you have internet connection, you have a laptop or a browser, just log into the web to the URL of our analytical consulting engine site, and you can monitor. But of course, you have to configure, right? Enroll the cluster. For example, you have to create your account on our ACE. Okay, create your credentials, and then there are steps actually to enroll your infrastructure there. You have the prerequisite is only two. Okay, one, you have to have to enable the call home feature. Call home feature is the proactive support. Okay, we call it secure remote support of Dell EMC. So once configured, it will be connecting to our cloud analytics, cloud-based, so that even our remote support can proactively support you. It can send alerts to our remote support, and the remote support will automatically call you or dispatch parts if there is a confirmed hardware failure or parts failure proactively. Okay, that is one of the requirements. So it will send alerts through Cloud IQ, through Cloud ACE. Okay, when you enable the call home feature, and you should have a valid warranty maintenance agreement. So it's free to use. Okay, if you have the call home feature and still valid warranty. Of course, you don't want your equipment to run out of warranty, right? Because it's gonna be a risk, major risk for your organization. Something happens, so there will be no support. Okay, so but in that case, of course, yung maintenance agreement warranty is very important. So those are the two requirement lang, and then you can now create your credentials, okay, on the on our cloud-based analytics for ACE, and then you can now monitor, okay, all your clusters from anywhere, whether it's located in different data centers. Okay, so I hope that answers your questions.